Hey there, Sharon Horne. Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1927 of What You Have to Know. Today we're talking about under the knife as our idiom for supersize your business today, as well as physical stuff coming up to get our attention. We're focusing on physical health, physical well-being for this month as part of this year's Get Your Goals annual challenge. And found out yesterday that I'm going under the knife and having surgery on Monday morning to remove and replace my ICD, my internal cardiac device. Had sudden cardiac arrest 10 years ago. I think I've mentioned more than 10 years ago, 13 plus years ago. In 2010, I had a sudden cardiac arrest, and as part of the recovery after they froze me and put me in a coma and all these crazy things, had an internal cardiac device put in, and it's supposed to be replaced in 9 years, but mine's actually gone 13 years now. And then over this past weekend, it decided it was done and it was failing. I had four little actually two double taps or four double taps of my box. And the nurse called me on Monday morning and said, did your box go off this weekend? I'm like, yes, it did. I wonder what was going on, because it's like a cell phone vibrating in your chest. It's not the same as when you get a jolt and a kick from it. That actually knocks you on your rear. But when it jump starts your heart, it's just like, the defibrillators, but it's inside and it jolts your heart. So I only had that happen once. So I'm grateful for that. But this was different, and I knew it was different. I was just getting ready to call the nurse when she called me and said, means it's time to replace it sooner rather than later. And all of a sudden yesterday they called and said, we'll see you Monday morning at 8:15. We're going to take care of that for you. So I'm excited. I've got the same surgeon I had when I had it originally put in, so it'll be interesting. Shouldn't be as bad as the first time, because the first time the leads have to grow into your heart muscle, so you can't lift your arms for 2 months or anything. So now I think it'll just be a couple of weeks where I can't lift my granddaughter, my 2-year-old granddaughter, because she'll be a little too heavy. But this too shall pass. So today we're talking about that and under the knife, because I'm looking for idioms that coincide with what we're talking about in the annual challenge. I started that last year because I'm like, all right, this is harder than I thought it was going to be, to pick a different idiom every day. I love doing it though, and that's why I keep doing it, is because it reminds me to always question what things mean, what they mean according to the dictionaries or idioms, what they mean to me, what they mean to my business, what they might mean to other people. Because I don't want to assume that because something means something to me, it means the same thing to other people, because it pretty much doesn't, right? We all filter things through our experiences, through our past, through our present, through our current situation, through all of our different senses, and come up with a different way of looking at it than other people, right? I know I don't look at things the same way other people do. So under the knife is an expression that's been around since the 1880. It was first recorded, and it means and talks about surgery, cutting things out, operating on something. And sometimes we need to do that in our business. I tied that into, well, how do we do that in our business, and what questions do we need to ask ourselves when we're doing that in our business to make sure that we are not making more problems than solving problems. Sometimes you think we're just going to amputate the arm and it's going to be better. We might just sell off a division of our company or stop making a product or service, only to find out that that was the cash cow in the direction we should have gone in. Ever done that? Yes, that's happened to me. And you learn, usually the first time you make a mistake like that, you learn that you need to do more research, more homework, and more investigating before you determine whether something should go under the knife or be cut or not. It's true of people. A lot of times it feels like, and we don't know because we don't know the inside story of what's going on in other businesses. But when we see in the news and the headlines, 1,000 jobs here, 3,000 jobs there, 6,000 jobs from this company, you got to wonder, it often feels like businesses assume that people are the problem and overhead and the expense of people are the problem. But actually, there are ways to tap into human energy and human resources and the people that we have to supersize and grow our business, not have to just cut them out and lay them off and furlough them, and cause long-term damage to our businesses and to our health as well. So our topic for today for the Get Up and Go challenge was stuff happens. Physical stuff happens to get our attention. And maybe I wouldn't have believed that or thought that before my sudden cardiac arrest, but following my sudden cardiac arrest, I went on a deep and long and meaningful search for what the heck happened to me, right? Because I was just living my life up until that point, and then boom, gone. And fortunate for me, I ended up coming back and not staying dead, and had the opportunity to ask those questions. What the heck is this all about? Why am I here? Why did this happen to me? And it didn't take long to realize that it happened to me because I needed a huge wake up call, not just in one area of my life, but in several areas of my life. And the most, the best consciousness facilitator that we have, the best way we have as humans to get our attention, our mental attention, our subconscious to the conscious, to pay attention to something that we need to pay attention to, is through our bodies, through our senses. And our bodies are telling us all the time. If we're sick, if we have illnesses, if we have ailments, if we're blind, it's because there's something we don't want to see. It's because there's something we're not paying attention to. It's because we're breaking our heart, right? By doing things that aren't in alignment with who we really are. At least that's some of the things that I learned from my journey. So if you've ever had an accident, a slip, trip, or fall, broken anything, chances are there was something that you needed to pay attention to that you weren't paying attention to. If we have different ailments in our body, I think Louise Hay did a terrific job in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, breaking down different ailments in us and what questions we want to ask ourselves in order to try to discover what those things are. Because once we discover and let those things go, oftentimes those ailments leave us. I found that worked really, really well with my personal chronic pain, was to figure out what some of the stuff was that I was holding in and causing me pain and discomfort. And as I started to release and let those things go, I was freed up and had bigger and bigger gaps between bouts of pain for me personally. Anyway, long story. So that's it. That's all I've got today. I have a pre-op physical today, this afternoon, and I'm hanging out with my granddaughters this morning to help with some other family stuff. If I can help you anyway, just hit me up and ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have a terrific day.